What is good, IE Sports Radio fans? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new live edition of the IE Elite Wrestling Show. What is going on, everyone? I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. I hope you had a wonderful weekend leading up to today. Thank you for joining me live here on the Spreaker. If you're listening later on the download on one of our many platforms that we're on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff, or on YouTube, thank you for taking the time to listen to the premier professional wrestling podcast online today. Your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling, the IE Elite Wrestling Show, on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Yes, the SoCal Saint is live right now. We got a little bit of stuff to talk about. Actually, we got a good chunk. I caught up on a lot of stuff last week since it was my first show in over a week after I came back from my little family vacation. We are gearing up for SummerSlam. It's going to be coming to you live next Saturday night, April 5th. We're going to discuss the card now. The card is shaping up now after this past Friday night on SmackDown and last night on Monday Night Raw. The card is starting to stretch and grow, so there's a couple more matches that have been officially announced for the big SummerSlam event that'll be taking place live at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Also, I have the results of last Friday night's Ring of Honor pay-per-view event, Death Before Dishonor. I'm actually going to jump into that first, if you don't mind. So we're doing a little bit of change-up. I know usually I start the show off with a bunch of wrestling news, but I actually want to start with the results of Death Before Dishonor before we get started into some wrestling news. So that was this past Friday night, July 21st, I believe. Yes. It was this past Friday night, July 21st. It was live from the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton, New Jersey. Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. And it was live on pay-per-view, or if you were watching it on streaming, it was live to purchase on Fight TV, on the Fight TV app. And these are the matches that took place. This is another one. I've already talked about this before in my critiques of the way Tony Khan does things with AEW. And since Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor as well, he does the same shit with Ring of Honor that he does with All Elite Wrestling. And it's this long-ass pre-show. A pre-show does not need to have so many damn matches on the card. It's ridiculous. Like, I keep saying that less is more. Less is more, less is more. He needs to really downsize the time of pay-per-views. And starting with the pre-show, that's going to help a lot, because somehow they put in 4 matches within a pre-show. And a pre-show should literally be 0 to maybe 1. Maybe 2 matches, if that. But a pre-show should seriously have either none or 1 match. It shouldn't contain, damn near half of a card on just the pre-show alone. This is what was this is how the pre-show started for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. This was a pure wrestling rules match. Christopher Daniels, Jimmy Jacobs, and Jerry Lynn served as the judges for this match. Josh Woods with the varsity athletes, Tony Nese, Ari Daivari, and Smart Mark Sterling defeated Tracy Williams by submission. Then we came to a tag team match. Action Andretti, I guess like the race car driver, and Darius Martin defeated the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake by pinfall. The third pre-show match on the card was Legit Layla Hirsch defeating Trish Adora by submission. And then A.R. Fox defeated Shane Taylor by pinfall. And the very first match on the actual card was the Luchador Gravity defeating the other Luchador that's on the Ring of Honor roster now, Commander, via pinfall. I heard it was a very great match. I did not get a chance to actually see the opening contest. Shout out to Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Hopefully some other IE Sports Radio fam could join us as well in this discussion and the show. Also, we got Samoa Joe in the second match on the official card, because we're already 6 matches in, and I'm telling you, the first 4 matches were just a pre-show. I'm getting off on a tangent here. Samoa Joe defeated Dalton Castle to retain the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I heard that was also a pretty great match. I'm going to steer off for a second here. I'm just going to throw this in. If you are a subscriber of Peacock and you are a fan of the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe, damn, say that 5 times fast, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe, you can actually check him out on a television show that's going to be premiering this Friday, I believe the 27th. Is that Friday, the 27th? I could be wrong. When is the 27th? Wow. That's Friday. No, excuse me, Thursday. Wow. I'm getting my days mixed up, guys. This Thursday, the 27th, on Peacock, if you're subscribing to Peacock, of course, I've especially for the WWE premium live events and the WWE content that's on there, I always stress that you should subscribe because it's only now it's increased by $1, so it's $5.99 a month for their basic plan, and you get all that good stuff included. But if you're a fan of Samoa Joe and you are a fan of, I'm taking it way back, guys. If you grew up like me playing Twisted Metal, any PlayStation owners out there from back in the day, if you ever played the Twisted Metal series, Samoa Joe is going to be playing the character of Sweet Tooth. That is the maniacal clown that drove the ice cream truck in the video game. Samoa Joe will be portraying physically Sweet Tooth. The voice is actually going to be provided by Will Arnett, so it's a double role. Will Arnett providing the voice for Sweet Tooth, while Samoa Joe is physically portraying the character of Sweet Tooth. Anthony Mackie, famous for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing Falcon, and he is our new Captain America. He is going to be in the show as well. So check it out. This premiering this Thursday, July 27th, on Peacock. Twisted Metal will premiere this Thursday on Peacock with Samoa Joe portraying Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal series. So any Twisted Metal fans out there, I say, at least give it a shot. I know video game adaptations are very, very much hit or miss, but the trailers seem cool. The design of Sweet Tooth is pretty damn close to the actual Sweet Tooth. The only thing missing is his head is not on fire, which I'm hoping that at some point that happens as a little bit of fan service in the show. I will be checking it out, so I suggest if you guys have nothing better to watch or do this coming Thursday, check out Twisted Metal on Peacock with the Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe playing Sweet Tooth. So, sorry I went off on a little side tangent there, but I just wanted to get that out there because I know that's premiering this week. Shout out to Larry B., the head honcho of IE Sports Radio. He's in the chat room. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And if you haven't already, if you missed the return of 3 and Out, you guys should check it out on the download. You can listen to it on YouTube now or check it out on many of our other platforms as well. And I should have started off with this before I go any further. Please show some love to our sponsor for IE Sports Radio. That's Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, the single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate. It's low in sugar and high in delicious, fantastic protein. This is some of the best jerky you can get your hands on, and for a limited time, I'm hoping that they're still doing the raffle because if you go to planetjerky.net, place your order, follow Planet Jerky on Instagram at Planet Jerky, DM them and let them know that you bought the jerky based on hearing this ad that you're hearing from my beautiful, luscious lips right now. The sultry sounds of my lovely voice, the SoCal Saint himself. You will be entered into a raffle that ends this coming next Tuesday. So you got another week, guys. Next Tuesday, August 1st, is when the raffle ends, and you can either win 4 bags of jerky from Planet Jerky, or win 4 tickets if you're in the Lake Elsinore, I would say Inland Empire area of California. You win 4 tickets to see the Lake Elsinore Storm in action. So you got a chance to win either some free bags of jerky or tickets to Lake Elsinore Storm game. Once again, huge shout out to our sponsor, Planet Jerky, premium beef brisket jerky, the jerky that is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah! Oh, wow, that was good, and it didn't even hurt my throat that time. Planet Jerky, yeah. It's going to rise to the top, yeah. And Larry B., thank you, sir. Yes, I am actually expecting a couple bags myself, thanks to our awesome leader, our commander-in-chief here, Larry B. So once I get some, I'll definitely, next week, I'll try to save some. If I don't, I'm going to try and have some self-control when it comes in so I don't eat it all before my next episode. So I can actually give a live review on the program next Tuesday. So, yes, guys, it is planetjerky.net. Please check it out. It is the official sponsor of IE Sports Radio and the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm. Now let me continue here on with the rest of the card for Death Before Dishonor. And we had a 4-way tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. This was said to be probably the match of the night from what I understand. I've seen highlights of the match. I'll have to go back and try and find a stream, or if it's affordable, possibly purchase the pay-per-view itself so I can actually watch it in its full entirety. But from the highlights I saw of this match was very much a stellar crowd pleaser for sure. Aussie Open, the team of Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis defeated the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Cero Medio, and Rey Fenix. The Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, and best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta to become the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. And in a 6-man tag team match for the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team titles, Mogul Embassy, Brian Cage, Bishop Khan, and Teo Leone defeated Leo Ruffin and the team of 6 or 9, Master Wato and Ryusuke Taguchi, to retain the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team titles. And in another classic match that received high praise online, on Twitter especially, or X, I don't know what the hell we're supposed to call it now, Katsuyori Shibata defeated Daniel Garcia to retain the Ring of Honor Pure Championship in a Pure Wrestling Rules match. Christopher Daniels, Jimmy Jacobs, and Jerry Lynn served as judges once again, like they did during the pre-show and that Pure Wrestling Rules match that took place on the pre-show. Shibata still reigning as Ring of Honor Pure Champion. And this is their version of an Anything Goes Extreme Rules match in Ring of Honor terms. They call it a fight without honor. There's no shaking of the hands pre or post match. There is just no listening to any rules whatsoever. Anything goes. It's a fight without honor. The Dark Order, Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver defeated the team of the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch, and the former member of the Dark Order, Stu Grayson, in a 6-man fight without honor match. At the end of the match, it seems that Stu Grayson may be falling back towards the Dark Order, possibly because he attacked the Righteous, Dutch, and Vincent after the match was lost. And I don't know if that was a sign of things to come. Maybe Stu Grayson is going to rejoin the Dark Order, or Stu Grayson was just upset about the outcome of the match. So tune in to Ring of Honor, which still, for some reason, you have to pay for that. At Ring of Honor, the Honor Club is the only way to watch Ring of Honor live every Thursday night when it's live. Or not really live, because they always pre-tape the episodes. But you have to subscribe to Honor Club to be able to actually see every new episode of Ring of Honor on TV. And in the semi-main event for the Ring of Honor World Championship, Claudio Castagnoli of the Blackpool Combat Club defeated Pac to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. At first, the original opponent for Claudio for this night was supposed to be Eddie Kingston, but Eddie Kingston asked and received his opportunity from Tony Khan to join New Japan Pro Wrestling for this summer because he wanted to be a part of the G1 Climax tournament, which he currently is, and he's also the reigning NJPW Strong Openweight champion. And then the secondary opponent that was supposed to be the first backup opponent for Claudio was going to be Mark Briscoe, the brother of the late great Jay Briscoe, former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion multiple times over. He unfortunately suffered a horrible knee injury that it required surgery to repair, and he is actually going to be out for the foreseeable future, probably, from what I hear, upwards of 8 to 9 months at the very least. So then a second backup was found, and that was, of course, the Bastard Pac, a former AEW All-Atlantic Champion, or International Champion, excuse me. They renamed that title. God. Anyway, they renamed that title after they debuted. I think it took them a week to rename it. But anyway, so Pac, after what happened during Blood and Guts last Wednesday, Pac just basically giving the FU to the Blackpool Combat Club and leaving them in the dust against the Golden Elite. He just walked out on the match and on the members of the club. So this led to Pac then challenging Claudio at Death Before Dishonor a couple days later, and this is what led to this match. I heard it was a very good match as well. Claudio still reigning as Ring of Honor World Champion. And in the main event for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, Athena defeated Willow Nightingale to retain the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship in a classic match. I actually did witness this match. This was definitely one of the best women's matches I've seen all year long, especially from this side of the wrestling world, from the AEW side of things, because a lot of their matches for me, unfortunately, the women matches are usually hit or miss with me. I am a fan of women's wrestling, and I feel like there's always something missing with a lot of their women's wrestlers that they have on their roster. And it's not so much like character wise. I just mean like they're the basics. Like, I mean, I'm in disrespect, I mean, because I have never stepped foot in a wrestling ring. I don't know what it's like to take a bump, but I would love to. I have much respect for any man or woman that steps inside of a ring. I just feel like a lot of the female wrestlers for AEW need some fine tuning. I always feel like the WWE female superstars, they're getting that fine tuning at the Performance Center, and that's something that AEW doesn't have. They don't have like a developmental system or a Performance Center to fine tune their skills. So I feel like there's a lot of things and accidents and botches that could be avoided in these type of matches. It's not just the women though, because there's a lot of men that need some fine tuning on that roster as well. But I digress. This was definitely one of the best matches on the AEW / Ring of Honor side of things all year long. And Athena, and the way it kept Willow Nightingale very strong. And Willow was coming off the heels of winning the women's finals of the Owen Hart tournament. She is the second Owen Hart women's tournament final winner. So she had a very strong push going into this match. And they kept her strong. They didn't outright defeat her. She got choked out by Athena, but she didn't give up. She didn't tap out. The referee grabbed her arm. It went limp 3 times, and the referee called for the bell. So Athena retained the title by technical submission. So that was the results of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. That happened this past Friday, the 21st. Ring of Honor will not be on pay-per-view again. So far, there is nothing announced as of yet for their next pay-per-view event. So when I do hear something about Ring of Honor's next pay-per-view event, I will let you guys know. You'll be the first ones to hear it here live on the IE Sports Radio's premier wrestling podcast, the IE Elite Wrestling Show. Let's move on to some wrestling news. This is it's non-wrestling related, honestly, but the story centers around one of the biggest names in professional wrestling ever. Let me do that correctly. He is one of the most electrifying men in sports and entertainment. This comes courtesy of Variety.com. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has made the largest donation in SAG-AFTRA Foundation history. to the ongoing strike and relief fund for those who are on strike. The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has made the largest donation ever to that fund to help out his fellow actors and actresses during this difficult time. Of course, if you've been living under a rock and you're not really like in the know when it comes to Hollywood entertainment news, of course, the Writers Guild of America has been on strike for a little while now, and just recently the Screen Actors Guild has now gone on strike as well. So now we have writers and actors all united together on strike, trying to get better terms, a better deal on their end. They feel like they've been given the short end of the stick with Hollywood studios. And I mean, when you look at certain things, like for instance, like the owner of Warner Brothers apparently makes about $75,000 a year, and $75,000 a day. A day, and some guys can't even make that in a year. Some of the lower tiered actors. We're not talking about the A-list here. So, and then the fact that one of the things that they brought to the table was, say, I would be an extra in a movie, so to speak. This is, hypothetically speaking, I was an extra in a movie. They would scan my body, pay me for that day's work, and therefore they would now own my likeness and could reuse me in anything that they want till the end of time. I could be me now as my 36-year-old self could be an extra in a movie after I'm long gone from this world. So that is definitely not cool. I mean, the things with AI and streaming services have definitely changed the landscape of how Hollywood operates, and actors and actresses and writers especially definitely feel like they should be compensated better for that. And The Rock, being who he is, the awesome good guy that he is, you always see Rock doing a lot of charitable things for a lot of people. Rock himself showing his support for the strike and donating the largest sum that they've ever received. They didn't disclose what that sum was, because honestly, it's really no one's business how much he donated. But if they're saying it's the if they're saying it's the largest amount, I mean, they're at least giving us at least that tidbit. And me being the wrestling fan, now that actors and actresses are on strike, I would love to see Rock dust off those boots, man. He's got plenty of time, because God knows how long this strike will last. Rock's got some time. I know the XFL doesn't start for another few months. Maybe it's time for Rock to dust off those boots and work off some of that ring rust, if you know what I'm saying. So, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. And if you're a fan of, I hope you're listening. I know a lot of my friends that listen to the show, and hopefully a lot of the IE Sports Radio compatriots here grew up playing video games like I did myself. Particularly one particular video game, if your parents allowed you to. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat. If you played Mortal Kombat, you know exactly how just fun it is and ultra-violent and all that good stuff. Well, a new Mortal Kombat game is actually on the horizon to be released. It's going to be Mortal Kombat 1. It's a long story. Long story short, the last Mortal Kombat game basically rebooted the entire series to the beginning. So now they're starting over. What would have been Mortal Kombat 12 is now Mortal Kombat 1. And there has been an announcement for downloadable content, which will bring in more fighters into the game. And for the first time ever, a WWE superstar will be a character in the next Mortal Kombat game, along with a couple of famous comic book characters. If you're a fan of Invincible, that's on Prime Video. Omni-Man will be a playable character in the game. And if you're also streaming on Prime Video, if you're a fan of The Boys, that psychopathic USA clouded champion of the people, quote-unquote, Homelander, is also going to be a playable character in Mortal Kombat 1. The superstar in question I'm speaking of is none other than the Doctor of Thugonomics himself, John Cena. That's right, guys. John Cena will be a playable character in Mortal Kombat, but not as John Cena, as his character from the DC Universe, Peacemaker. That's right. If you've seen the show Peacemaker or saw him in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, John Cena's character of Peacemaker will be a character playable in Mortal Kombat 1. So John Cena going to be the first crossover superstar from the WWE to feature in a Mortal Kombat game. I thought that was pretty cool. I just wanted to share that. I know that's not technically wrestling related, but just seeing that John Cena as Peacemaker is going to be in a Mortal Kombat game, I thought that was pretty damn dope. So I just wanted to share that with my listeners here. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, if you got the next-gen systems, I believe it's only going to be on the next-gen systems, the next-gen Xbox and PlayStation 5, please go ahead and do yourself a favor and pre-order that. Pre-order the new Mortal Kombat game and get that DLC purchase, because that's the only way you'll be able to play as Peacemaker, a.k.a. John Cena, in Mortal Kombat. WWE fans out there live, yes, tickets have gone on sale for next year's WrestleMania. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Wow, I'm dumb. Scratch that. WrestleMania tickets are going to be going on sale very, very soon, guys. August 18th. That's the date. I found the date. I don't know if I announced that last week or not, but WrestleMania tickets will be going on sale live Friday, August 18th for next year, WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's WrestleMania 40. A cool little tidbit here from the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. This is the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. The son-in-law to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Conrad Thompson. Congratulations to him on being elected to the George Trago / Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. The physical Hall of Fame itself is actually located in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and he will be making the class here. He's receiving the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame Gordon Soley Award and will be enshrined in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame forever after receiving this award. The Golden Soley Award. Golden Soley, of course, is a famous, one of the most famous commentators in the professional wrestling history. He was famous for being the commentator for Championship Wrestling from Florida. He made his name there, and he will be... and the award is named after him. And you can actually, if you're in the Stillwater, Oklahoma area, you can actually go and visit the Physical National Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum. It operates Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and tickets are actually fairly cheap, actually. A ticket for a family is actually $15. Children 5 and under are free. $3 for students, $5 for military veterans and senior citizens, 65 and older, and for just single adults, if you're going with your friends or by yourself, it's $7 for adults. So wow, that's a very affordable That's a very affordable Hall of Fame that you can visit. So that is that's off of actually 405 West Hall of Fame Avenue. That's 405 West Hall of Fame Avenue in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Check it out, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. My sister lives in Oklahoma, so I feel like I may have to make a detour and actually visit this Hall of Fame on my way to visit my sister next time I head to the base out there that her and her husband reside at. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll get into some more wrestling news when we come back, and let's hear from one of our affiliates here on IE Sports Radio. We'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
Hockey fans, I'm Adam Kernick.
And I'm Zach Puplis.
Together, we are the newest version of Hockey Talk on IE Sports Radio, The Neutral Zone.
Zone.
We love hockey, but we also know it's not everyone's first sport. So we want to make this show as much for new fans as for the diehards.
Whether you can name all the Swedes on the '08 Red Wings Stanley Cup team, or if you can't tell if Varlamov is a goalie or the latest trendy vodka, we're here to help. With facts, figures, and outrageous fans, we bring you all the hard-hitting hockey news you can handle, while still keeping it fun and on the rails. Well, mostly.
So tune in every week as we go around the hockey world, from college to Canada, the minors and the majors, and everywhere in between.
So bring your cellies.
And your one-timers.
You wicked wristas.
And be sure to protect your five-hole.
Catch the Neutral Zone every week on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We promise not to pick on the Arizona Coyotes every episode.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports, exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
What's good, everyone? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint. If you're joining in now live, thank you for tuning in to the IE Elite Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is sports. Excuse me, wow. Rewind. Your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. What's good, everyone? Shout out to Larry B and Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. Thank you. If you're just tuning in live, thank you. If you're listening on the download, again, thank you. Or on YouTube, also, thank you. And follow me at IE Elite Pod. That's at IE Elite Pod. Also, go ahead and give a like and a follow to IE Sports Radio, their official Twitter page. Or check out our website, iesportsradio.com. I know I talked about this last week on the show, that we were having a summer sale for a lot of our merch, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, all that good stuff. We still have some shirts available. The sale has been extended to Saturday, August 5th. So if you haven't copped yourself some IE Sports Radio gear, please show us some love. Go to iesportsradio.com/shop. That's iesportsradio.com/shop. And check out and buy some merch. Buy some shirts for your family, for your kids, for yourself. Do what you got to do. But check it out, guys. Show some love to the IE Sports Radio family. Show that you appreciate us like we appreciate doing these shows for you. Coming up soon, guys, NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, the wrestling outfit that's owned by Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan, will be having their historic 75th anniversary show. It's going to be coming to you live. 2 historic dates, August 26th and August 27th of this year. And then it's going to be live on Fight TV. That's going to be live on FITE. That's Fight TV. And the main event has already been announced. It will be Tyrus defending the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against the former NWA National Champion EC3. He has cashed in, so to speak, his title to earn his World Championship match, much like how TNA / Impact Wrestling has the X Division Championship, or whoever holds the X Division title can cash in his title to receive a World Championship match at a later date. NWA is doing the same thing with the National Championship. So EC3 cashed in his national title, and he will be challenging Tyrus for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship live in St. Louis, Missouri. They have not, from what I can see, an actual location has not been named yet. I'm trying to find that out if there is one named as of yet. From what I can see, there has not. And I mean, they're coming pretty damn close to the event. It just says live in St. Louis, Missouri. It doesn't actually give me an arena. But tickets are on sale now, and you can go to NWA Tix. That's NWATIX.com to purchase your tickets if you're in the St. Louis area for the NWA 75th anniversary. And I'm on the website now. There's actually more matches that have been announced besides the NWA World's Heavyweight title between Tyrus and EC3. We have the NWA World Women's Championship match. It'll be the longest reigning NWA Women's World Champion in its company history. Camille defending the title against Natalia Markova in a one-on-one match. The Indie God himself, the Deathmatch God, the Indie Taker, whatever you want to call him, always ready himself, Matt Cardona, has issued an open challenge on the 75th anniversary show, Matt Cardona's open challenge. And we have an NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship match. It will be Kerry Morton, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express, will be defending the NWA Junior Heavyweight title against Colby Corino. Colby Corino, the son of Steve Corino, ECW legend Steve Corino. It'll be a battle of wrestling lineage in that match. For the NWA World Tag Team titles, it'll be La Rebellion defending the NWA World Tag Team titles against the tag team known as Blunt Force Trauma, with Aaron Stevens in their corner. Aaron Stevens, of course, better known to WWE wrestling fans as Damian Sandow, the intellectual savior of the masses. What other matches have been announced? I'm trying to skip through the pictures here so I can find the next match that's been announced after that World Tag Team title match. Just bear with me here. Here we go. For the NWA winner-take-all for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, it'll be Thrillbilly Silas Mason versus Kratos versus Odinson. And then in a one-on-one match, Homicide will take on Joe Alonzo in a one-on-one match. And these are the matches that have been announced so far for the August 26th and August 27th shows for the NWA 75th anniversary. If you're in the St. Louis area, go to NWATIX.com and get yourself some tickets to check out the 75th anniversary show of the National Wrestling Alliance. And I mentioned him earlier because he will be having an open challenge during that night. Matt Cardona was just recently in Japan wrestling for the outfit DDT, where he became the new DDT Universal Champion. He had his cohort Steph DeLander at his side. He defeated the champion Tetsuya Endo to become the new DDT Universal Champion. Funny thing is, Matt Cardona, if many fans don't know, is married to current WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Chelsea Green, and he actually brought the WWE Women's Tag Team title belt with him to Japan and wore it to the ring because he claims via his Twitter page that marriage is 50-50, so he is actually one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, since he's married to one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So he claims ownership over the belt as well, and actually walked out to the ring wearing the belt around his waist. Crazy. Hopefully it doesn't fall back on his wife. In the WWE. Hopefully it wasn't a big deal, so to speak. Former AEW talent and son of wrestling legend, he's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, the late great Brian Pillman. His son, Brian Pillman Jr., has officially signed with the WWE, if you believe reports that have been circulating the internet, FightfulSelect.com, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and PW Guru, where I found this article. He was recently released from AEW. Unlike WWE, AEW doesn't have non-compete clauses, so he didn't have to wait about a 90-day stretch to do this. So apparently he went down to the Performance Center, met with some people. I guess he got a feel for everything, and he's making the jump. Brian Pillman, of course, famously was a WWE superstar at the time of his death. He was a member of the legendary Hart Foundation. Of course, the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, the late great Owen Hart, the late great Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the late great British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, and of course, the late great Brian Pillman. It's very sad that out of 5 members of the Hart Foundation, only Bret remains. God rest his soul. God rest the souls of all those men, and the good Lord be with Bret. I hope Bret stays in good health for a long time. But yes, Brian Pillman Jr. is headed to Orlando, and he is NXT bound. He's expected to move by the end of August and begin training full-time at the WWE Performance Center. So congratulations to Brian Pillman Jr. He's moving on from AEW and headed to the WWE, hopefully to bigger and better things. I feel like he was underutilized at his time in AEW. I feel like AEW tends to focus on the already made stars and their hand-picked few, instead of utilizing all the young talent that they have. And hopefully here, under the tutelage of Matt Bloom and Shawn Michaels, that they could find and grow and just breathe new life into the career of Brian Pillman Jr. He really wants to be a success in this business, especially to live on the memory of his father. So I say good on you. Congratulations, Brian Pillman Jr., and I hope to see you on NXT television in the very near future. If you're a fan of the wrestling TV show that is on Starz, that is the show Heels, Season 2 is actually going to be premiering this Friday, July 28th on Starz. Of course, if you're a fan of comic book TV shows and just comic book in general, just nerd stuff like myself, Heels is the brainchild and of its main star, the formerly known as the Green Arrow, Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell, of course, is famously friends with the Elite and Cody Rhodes. Stephen Amell is actually going to be narrating the American Nightmare documentary that's going to premiere next Monday on Peacock for Cody Rhodes. So there's another tidbit there for you. Stephen Amell is the star of Heels, and it's going to be the second season premieres this Friday on Starz. If you subscribe to Starz, you'll be able to check it out. I know right now the first season is free to watch if you're subscribed to Prime Video and not just Starz. So I'm probably going to jump on that, at least get familiar with the show before I even consider subscribing to Starz to see the second season. But a little fun tidbit here. CM Punk was a part of the first season as the character known as Ricky Rabies, and he will be returning as I believe a more full-time character this season, and he's bringing his real-life wife with him, the former WWE Divas champion AJ Lee, going by her real name AJ Mendez, and she will be playing the character of El Dorado, and it's spelled like L-E-E-L-E-E-L-L-E, excuse me, God, I can't even spell. So check out Heels on Starz this Friday, July 28th, with Stephen Amell, CM Punk, and AJ Lee. Got some bad news in the terms of injuries when it comes to the WWE. Kevin Owens and Liv Morgan are currently out of action due to injuries. Kevin Owens is apparently legitimately injured with broken ribs. I'm not exactly sure of the extent of his recovery time. He is still on WWE television as far as last night. He was still on Raw, but he did not do anything in the ring, but he is out with a broken rib. And Liv Morgan apparently has injured another one of her shoulders. Originally, I believe the first injury was to her left shoulder, and now it's believed somehow she's injured her right shoulder, and that's why last night they had that segment. It was supposed to be a match one-on-one between Liv and the women's world champion Rhea Ripley, and that turned into just a beatdown, just a terrible, terrible beatdown, where Liv's arm was stuck in a chair and Rhea kicked it, showing that she was injured to write her off of television. I'm not sure to the extent of the injury and how long she will be out to recover, but just well wishes and hopefully speedy recoveries to both Kevin Owens and Liv Morgan. Hopefully they can get back on television sooner rather than later. And this is great. I wanted to share this with y'all. Apparently, this past weekend, the WWE had two big super shows in Mexico City and in Monterrey. July 22nd, they were in Mexico City, Mexico, and on July 23rd, they were in Monterrey, Mexico. They broke records for the highest attendance and highest grossing live events in Mexico in WWE's history. The super show, the event in Mexico City broke venue records, becoming the highest attendance and highest grossing event ever held in Arena Ciudad de Mexico, in addition to setting a record for the highest ever WWE merchandise sales in Mexico City. More than 25,000 spectators across both nights witnessed superstars including Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Ronda Rousey, Seth freaking Rollins, Becky Lynch, Dominic Mysterio, Charlotte Flair, and Santos Escobar. Man, that's fantastic news. WWE is having the biggest year probably in a very, very long time. You got some of the greatest wrestlers they have on their roster. They are doing big business in merchandise sales, from Roman Reigns to LA Knight, to Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, and the LWO, to Cody Rhodes. These guys are doing huge business. It's just fantastic. When business is good, everybody excels. The business grows. It's more exciting. It's more entertaining. And it's good for everyone involved. It's good for the fans. It's good for the superstars involved. Business being great is great for all involved. I'm telling you, like, whenever it reflects on television, it's reflecting for us as well, and that's great. I've never heard of Mexico having record-shattering attendance for WWE shows, but this time around they did, and it was big business. Especially with both nights, I believe, were main evented by Roman Reigns and WWE Hall of Famer, the most famous luchador in professional wrestling history, bar none, Rey Mysterio. So that's how you sell it, and that's what got people in butts and seats there. So congratulations to the WWE on having a record-breaking weekend in the home of my father, Mexico. We'll take another quick little break, guys, and when we come back, we're going to discuss the newly shaped card for next Saturday's WWE SummerSlam, coming to you live in Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field. Stay tuned, guys.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world.
Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter, at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.